Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sani Komalasari from Program Studi PBI Class 1A. Here I will read a book. This is book I read. The title of this book is Linguistic. The author of this book is Jean Aitchison. There are 4 chapters in this book. The first chapter is General Introduction. The second chapter is Describing Language. The third chapter is Toward a Universal Grammar. The fourth chapter is Other Areas of Linguistics. But I will recite the first chapter of this book. What is linguistics? The average person spends an immense amount of his life talking, listening, and in advanced societies reading and writing. Normal conversation use 4,000 or 5,000 words an hour. A radio talk where there are fewer pauses use as many as 8,000 or 9,000 words per hour. A man reading at a normal speed covers 14,000 or 15,000 words per hour. So, someone who chats for an hour listening to a radio talk for an hour and reads for an hour possibly comes into contact with 25,000 words in that time. Per day, the total could be as high as 100,000. What is language? Linguistics can be defined as the systematic study of language, a discipline which describes language in all its aspects and formulates theories as to how it works. But what exactly is language? How does one define it? What are its characteristic features? One of the best ways to answer this question is to compare language with animal communication and to see where the similarities and differences lie. In human language, the reverse is true. In the great majority of cases, there is no link. The study of language, the brief survey. The discipline of linguistics can be likened to a pathway which is being cut through the dark and mysterious forest of language. Different parts of the forest have been explored at whatsoever between the signal and the message. The symbols used are arbitrary, explored at different times, so we can depict the path as a winding one. Historical linguistics. Before the 19th century, language in the Western world was of interest mainly to philosophers, it is significant that the Greek philosophers Plato and Aristotle made major contributions to the study of language. Decide where to begin. Language is an enormous and very complex phenomenon. If one wants to know more about it, where should one begin? The answer to this question depends to some extent on one purpose. People interested in linguistics often fall into one of two categories. On the one hand, there are those who want to study language because they are interested in knowing more about one particular language. The headline in this chapter is What is Linguistics? The average person spends an immense amount of his life talking, listening, and in advanced societies, reading and writing. Normal conversation use 4,000 or 5,000 words an hour. A radio talk where there are fewer pauses use as many as 8,000 or 9,000 words per hour. The man reading at a normal speed covered 14,000 or 15,000 words per hour. Supporting idea in this chapter is to introduce what is meant by linguistics and any knowledge that is in linguistics. Difficult vocabulary. Immense, besar sekali. Amount, jumlah. Advance, maju. Fewer, lebih sedikit. Societies, masyarakat. Speed, kecepatan. Disiplin, disiplin. Arbitrary, sewenang-wenang. Revert, mengacu.